What's going on? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and you're watching NFL Daily. Today's show, 10 former NFL players that need to come out of retirement. Now, why am I talking about this? Because yesterday, Brett Favre's Instagram account was hacked, and during that, he pronounced that he was going to come back to the NFL again. And the fact that we're talking about Brett Favre coming back to the NFL, it got us here at Chat Sports really excited. So what I put together are my top 10 players that I want to see come out of retirement and enter back in the NFL. Y'all ready? Number 10 on my list is DeMarcus Ware. Spent the first 9 years of his career with the Dallas Cowboys. Ware signed with the Denver Broncos in 2014 and was a key member of the team's Super Bowl winning squad in 2015. He retired the following 2016 season. Now, when I remember DeMarcus Ware, I remember Ware as a defensive end. I remember him as a linebacker, coming off the edge and just wreaking absolute havoc on the quarterbacks. So what I put together here are his last 4 years before retiring. In 2016, he had 15 tackles, 4 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. 4 sacks, heck, you would have led the Raiders. 2015, 2014, 2013, still put together some solid numbers there. DeMarcus, all I'm saying is, my man, I would love to see you come back and play some NFL football. So today's show, I want you to name a player that you want to come out of retirement. Tweet at him. Let him know. Say, hey, I saw your video on Chat Sports. I want you to come back into the league. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, name a player that you want to come out of retirement. Let's go to number 9 on my list. It's Tony Gonzalez, drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in round 1 in 1997. Then he played 12 seasons there until being traded to the Atlanta Falcons, where he played for 5 more years. You want to talk about a dude that just totally changed the game? It was Tony Gonzalez. Now, I don't know what he would do when he scored a touchdown in today's game, because when you dunk on the goalpost, it's a penalty now. But you want to talk about some impressive numbers? In 2013, he had 859 yards and 8 touchdowns. Oh, the year before that, 93 catches, 930 yards, 8 touchdowns. His last 4 years before retiring were unbelievably productive. So, is Tony Gonzalez the GOAT of tight ends? I want you to comment below. Who do you guys think is the GOAT of tight ends? Is it Rob Gronkowski? Is it Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates? Is it Shannon Sharp? Comment below who is the GOAT of tight ends. Let's go to the GOAT of wide receivers, because it's Jerry Rice. And I don't really know if there's too much debate in who is the greatest receiver of all time. And hey, I get it. He's 56 years old, but there were rumors last offseason that Jerry Rice was thinking about coming back. Jerry, let's get it going, my man. You want to talk about a solid route runner and a football league now that's a little bit softer than when Jerry played? I think he could get it done. In 2004, 30 catches, 429 yards, 3 touchdowns. But from 2003 to 2001 with the Oakland Raiders, some pretty solid production there by Jerry Rice. Now, it's one of those things. He hasn't played in 15 years, and I could also flip and say he's fresh. He's definitely going to be fresh. But when you're talking about the GOAT, why is he referred to as the GOAT? Most receptions in NFL career. Jerry Rice, number 1. You're going to see a theme in these next few graphics here. 1,549 receptions. Most receiving yards in an NFL career. Would you look at that? Jerry Rice. But hey, Larry Fitzgerald, how many more years are you going to play? Are you going to end up passing him? And then the most receiving touchdowns in an NFL career, it's Jerry Rice, 197. Moss with 156. T.O., you might see him a little bit later. Chris Carter. Marvin Harrison rounding out the list of the most receiving touchdowns in an NFL career. Now, make sure you guys subscribe to the number 1 channel on YouTube. It's Chat Sports. You guys like NFL rumors? Like NFL news? You want NBA content? We're giving it to you all here at Chat Sports, the most interactive channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and make sure you turn on your notifications so you know exactly when I go live. And you want to tweet at me at Mitchell Renz 365. Tell me you're part of the Noti gang. Let's get it going. Number 7 is Patrick Willis. Only 34 years old right now. Played 8 seasons, and the fact that he retired so soon, I would have almost argued that Patrick kind of retired in his prime. So a 7-time Pro Bowler, 5 first-team All-Pros. You want to talk about a guy that just racked up tackles? It was Patrick Willis. Now, he battled some injuries in 2014, which is why he ultimately retired. But in 2013, 104 tackles. 2012, 120 tackles. Heck, look at his rookie year in 2007. Over 170 tackles from Patrick Willis. You're talking about a guy that's laying the wood more than Tom? It's Patrick Willis. Let's bring him back into the NFL. Let's go to number 6 on my list, Kurt Warner originally signed with the Green Bay Packers as an undrafted free agent in 1994 after playing college football in Northern Iowa. Warner went on to be considered the best undrafted NFL player of all time. Warner was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2017 and is the only inductee in both the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Arena Football Hall of Fame. Man, I love me some Kurt Warner. And Father's Day was just this past Sunday. I talked to my dad almost on the daily, and he said if I could take any quarterback, it would be Kurt Warner. Like, ever. Kurt Warner, ever. Now, Dad, I love you, but I disagree with you. In 2009, 26 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. 2008, 30 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Kurt Warner, when I think about the greatest Kurt Warner, I think of the greatest show on turf. Now, he wasn't quite like that with the Arizona Cardinals, but I will say this, who's a better quarterback right now? So if you watched my video, and if you didn't see it, it's okay, probably because you didn't have your notifications on, turn them on. If you didn't see, I power ranked every single one of the quarterbacks in the NFL. Eli Manning, in my opinion, is the worst quarterback that's still playing. So who's the better quarterback right now? I want you to type M for Eli Manning or W for Kurt Warner. I'd probably take Kurt Warner. Now, here are the players that I want to unretire. Now, this is only 10 through 6, so hang tight. We're about to get to 5 to 1. DeMarcus Ware at age 36. Let's bring him back. Tony Gonzalez was putting up sick numbers before he retired. At age 43, yeah. Jerry Rice, 56, all good. Patrick Willis, 34, and Kurt Warner. I want these 5 players back into the NFL. Now, let's get into the top 5, shall we? T.O. Terrell Owens. And man, if there's one thing, 16 years of T.O. blessed the NFL with the show on and off the field. If I would love to see T.O. back in today's NFL, with today's social media, y'all think Antonio Brown's a diva? Y'all think that Juju's killing it on social media? Terrell Owens, get him on Twitter, get him back into the NFL. That is must-see television. And also, when he retired in 2010 or 2011, he was still putting up solid numbers, like 72 catches, 983 yards. 2009, 829 yards. Like, he was only a few years removed from 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Heck, he had 15 touchdowns in 2007. And there's one thing that I can guarantee, that T.O. is in really, really good shape. Let's go to number 4 on our list here. It's Randy Moss. And he holds the NFL single-season touchdown reception record, 23 in 2007. The record for most receiving touchdowns by a rookie was 17 in 1998. And his second NFL all-time regular season touchdown reception list was 156, as you saw earlier. And he currently works as an ESPN studio analyst, so it may be hard to get him away from his job. But there's 2 things that I can guarantee that are better than being an ESPN analyst. 1, an NFL player, and 2, a chat sports analyst. Now, in 2007, he saw 160 targets, 98 receptions, 1,493 yards, and 23 touchdowns. I would say that 2007, his season stats is one of the reasons why I think that when you talk about primetime receivers, Randy Moss in his prime, I would argue is one of the best. Now, most receptions in an NFL career, Moss with 156 behind the GOAT and Jerry Rice, but then you also see T.O., who I mentioned earlier, Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison. Now, the top 2 names on that list, Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, I want you to concentrate on, because who's better in their prime? Who was the better wide receiver in their prime? I'm not talking about longevity. You're taking one season in their prime, Randy Moss or Jerry Rice. So I want you to type RM for Randy Moss or JR for Jerry Rice. And if you want to know what I think, hit me up at Twitter. It's below, at Mitchell Renz 365. Now, today's sponsor is MyBookie, okay? MyBookie, you get a 100% deposit bonus when you go to MyBookie. Go to chatsports.com/MyBookie. If you need help getting set up, slide in my DMs on IG or on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365, because if you think that you know football and you think you know how to bet on sports, prove it. Chatsports.com/bet. Put down $50, get 50 for free. Heck, be a big baller like Rob Gronkowski and put down $300 and get $300 for free. Shout out to MyBookie for sponsoring today's show. Rob Gronkowski, number 3 on my list, the big baller that he is. NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2014, but here's the thing, he just retired in 2018. And when I think about everything that Gronk has gone through these past years, the fact that he's still already being rumored to coming back, it excites me a little bit. But the fact that he just retired, he's only 30 years old, and if he can stay healthy, that's when Rob Gronkowski is at his absolute best. You want to talk about a tight end that just totally changed the game, that totally dominated? Rob's there. And the fact that he's only 30, and I get it, he just retired. But when I see what he did in 2018, when I see what he did in 2017 with a nice receptions amount there, 2016 injuries, 2015 11 touchdowns. Heck, his second year into the league, the dude dropped 17 touchdowns. I want to see more Gronk smashing because I'm a little bit worried if he's retired, he's going to be doing a little bit different kind of Gronk smashing, if you know what I mean. Make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's get Gronk back because straight up, if Rob Gronkowski were to be back, I think he's a top 5 tight end. I think he's a top 4 tight end. Now, here are my top tight ends in the NFL with Gronk. Kelsey, Kittle, Ertz. I think Gronk is right there. And if you tell me you're going to give me all 16 games of Gronk, I would probably rank him number 1 because he's that dominant. But hey, what do I know? So better in their prime. Type TG for Tony Gonzalez or type RG for Gronk. Who do you think is the better tight end at their absolute peak? Better tight end in the NFL. TG for Tony Gonzalez or RG for Gronk. Now, our subscribers are going to love this one, right? Tony Romo. He signed as an undrafted free agent with the Cowboys in 2003, beginning his career as a holder, and, well, maybe he wasn't the best holder in the playoffs either. But Romo became the Cowboys starting quarterback during the 2006 season. And when I think about Tony Romo, I think he's actually one of the most underappreciated players in NFL history. I think what he was able to do for the Cowboys, I think he was able to do for the NFL is actually pretty remarkable. And people always rip on Tony for being bad in the fourth quarter. From 2006 to 2013, Tony Romo actually had the best fourth quarter stats of any NFL quarterback. Yeah. And in 2016, sure, injuries happened and then Dak came in and had a miraculous rookie season. But in 2014, 34 touchdowns. In 2013, 31 touchdowns. Tony Romo, when healthy, was a very, very good quarterback. So who's the better quarterback right now? Okay? F for Joe Flacco, you guys know how I feel about him. Or R for Tony Romo. Seriously, who would you rather have as a quarterback right now leading your team? Type F for Joe Flacco or R for Tony Romo. Number 1 on our list for NFL players that need to come out of retirement, and I'm begging you, Calvin Johnson, please come out. I want to see Megatron back on the field. I want to see this freak of an athlete at 6'5", being able to run a 4.4, go down the field. Unfortunately, he plays for the Detroit Lions. And unfortunately, he had to deal with Matthew Stafford and a team that went 0-16 before he got there, or when he was there. Imagine having a man this big and your team still goes 0-16. That's how bad the Lions were. So in 2015, though, think about this. You're like, all right, I'm going to hang it up because I only put up 1,214 yards and 9 touchdowns. Like, that's laughable to me. Heck, look at 2012, 1,964 yards. Mind-blowing. The most amazing thing about that is he only put up 5 touchdowns. You're telling me you get 122 catches, almost 2,000 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Megatron was an absolute beast. Calvin, my man, if you're watching, please come back. NFL players that need to come out of retirement. Here's my top 10 list. I got DeMarcus Ware, Tony Gonzalez, Jerry Rice, Patrick Willis, Kurt Warner. My top 5. Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Gronk, Tony Romo, and Calvin Johnson. Rounding out my list of my top 10 NFL players that need to come out of retirement. So those are my top 10 lists. But if you're a loyal watcher here at Chat Sports, you know our shows, they're not about us. They're about the watchers, the subscribers. So I want you to name a player that you want to come out of retirement, and I'm even going to challenge you a little bit further. Find their Twitter, find their Instagram, and at them. At them, say, guys, come out of retirement. Comment below. I'll be watching. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv.